Good evening. My name is Robert Warburton. I go by Lachio Vaher on the forums and in Second Life, and I am here with the Keeper Fellowship. We are running a Monster of the Week round robin campaign. The concept here is that each of us are taking it in turns to act as a keeper for one mystery. I am running currently what is our first mystery, Mama's Angels. This particular mystery will either be for 2 or 3 sessions. Last week we did our session 0 where we created our characters and did a little bit of world building. Today we're actually jumping into the mystery and going to do some actual role play. I am joined by 2 of our Keeper Fellowship members, and I will let them each introduce themselves and the character they're going to play tonight. Erica, do you want to get started?
Sure. I'm Erica. I'm playing Allison Wright, the Spooky, kind of a 20-year-old, like con person type character.
Very nice. And Spencer?
Yes, I'm Spencer. I played a lot of other PBAT games, but never Monster of the Week. So we'll see how this goes. I'm playing Mama Hershal, wheelchair bound, supposedly black lady in her 80s at least. She's ancient, old, and kind of ornery. And she is, what's my class again? She's the expert. So she's got a little hideout and stuff with some libraries, lots of cool tricks up her sleeve.
There, so it's on mute. Okay, very cool. You last week, one thing we did during the initial session 0 is we talked a little bit about each of our characters and why we chose them and the moves we chose and why we picked those individual moves. Since you were not here with us, Spencer, would you like to tell us why you decided to be the expert? What is it about this playbook that attracted you?
Well, so one thing I thought it was funny is probably the newest player to the game to be the one who knows the most about the creatures and such. I thought that might be a fun dichotomy to play out. But more so, I like support characters in general. And so for Mama Hershal to be able to be wheeling around, acting inconspicuous, and then just pull out of her bag just the right thing at the right moment, I thought that sounded exciting.
Very cool. Also, you have 2 playbook moves. You want to tell us what those are and why you picked them?
Sure. All right. So I have preparedness. When you need something unusual or rare, roll. On a 10+, you have it right here and right now. On a mixed result, you have it, but it may take some time to get for one reason or another. On a miss, you know where it is, but it's somewhere bad. And then Dark Past. If you travel through your memories for something relevant to the current task on hand, roll plus weird. On a 10+, ask 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, ask 1. Basically, have I dealt with the creature before? Do I know magic about this creature? Do I know anybody else who can help us? Those kinds of things. I liked, again, like I was saying before, I like support character things. I'd like the idea of, being able to pull out the stake when the vampire walks in the room and toss it to somebody who can use it. Mm-hmm. I liked the idea of being able to kind of call on other resources, the magical underground, and use those kinds of things for our benefit. Yeah.
I like it. And one last thing before we really jump in the discussion on our Discord server, we had some mention that Mama Hershal is perhaps the landlord at the long-term stay hotel that Erica's character, Allison, is living. Do you like that idea, or do you want her to live somewhere else? Or be somewhere else? I already know how I'm going to introduce you as a hunter together, but I'd like to set in the beginning kind of where you are. Do you own the hotel or?
I had suggested that. I thought it might be kind of fun if she had been spying on these two on and off for a month or more, gave them a discount because she knew what they were up to. I think it's, I mean, Erica, if you've got input, I'd love to hear it.
Oh yeah, no, I really like that idea. I think that's a fun idea to like have all of our characters kind of have a way to like know each other.
Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, I think it's going to be interesting how I bring the two groups together, because we have Erica and we have Allison and we have Poppy, who know each other and are maybe not exactly on really good terms yet, but they're like, have sort of this, what do you call it? Sort of a mutual interest in like not annoying each other, and they're kind of working together. Erica,
Right.
one thing we did not, actually, I'm going to go into kind of keeper mode now. I'm going to start calling you guys by your character's name. So, Allison, do you see Allison as having been a hunter, or is Allison just now getting started as a hunter?
I think I see Allison as more of like just now starting to get into this whole hunter thing.
Yeah, so her powers have been around for a while, but she hasn't really realized how dark the world is yet.
Right, right.
So maybe this is the first monster you guys will have come across.
Mhm.
And welcome, Poppy.
Hello.
So we are really good timing, because we're really just starting now. We had a little bit of brief character introduction, and we're just kind of getting ready to roll into it. So I'll pull up my notes here real quick. And what I wanted to do as we start this thing out, before we jump into the meat of the mystery, is talk a little bit about the characters, where they are, what they're doing, and what their lives look like. So, first off, Allison, since we're talking to you, I want to know about your bracelet. You mentioned that you have this bracelet that's like the key to your dark powers and all that. Tell me about it. Where did you get it? How did it show up? How does it work? What's going on in your mind with that? Doesn't have to be completely detailed yet, but give me something to work with.
All right, all right. I kind of saw this as like when she was like 14 years old, she went into like one of those old antique shops that had kind of like an air of mystery to it, and she saw this like runic bracelet like just sitting there, and it kind of drew her eye to it, and she put it on, but like unbeknownst to her, like she didn't want to take it off, but she also couldn't take it off. So like kind of
Interesting.
like compelling her to like keep it on, and like whispering things to her that kind of just got worse and worse.
That's cool. And that's sort of led to your hallucinations and paranoia and things like that. And
Right.
maybe those voices are what, lead to your impulse control. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should take that. Okay. Poppy, since you're with us, you have a little group of hedge witches that you find amusing. Tell me a little bit about them. Oh, I think you're on mute. Nope, I've got no audio from you.
Still can't hear you.
Let me check the YouTube. Maybe I don't think she would be muted there. No, I don't even have that open. So not sure what's going on with your audio. You want to try disconnecting and reconnecting? All right. I'll go ahead on to Spencer then. So, Mama Hershal, you have a dark past that is part of your character. I mean, you don't have to go into a great deal of detail, but tell me a little bit about Mama Hershal's dark past.
So Mama Hershal's heritage goes back to the Caribbean. And so a lot of her dark past comes from her ancestry there. Obviously, they were brought over there to work the sugarcane fields as slaves, dabbled in voodoo magic, and since that time, that power has kind of passed through. She's less powerful than some of her siblings were, but because she was involved with it and on the scene, she knows a thing or two about the magic scene, especially in this city. But like I said, a lot of the darkness just comes from the innate darkness of that kind of magic. It was born in slavery, and still its use is, there's a cost to every spell, every incantation.
Very cool, very cool. I had an idea for your character that perhaps Mama Hershal still has one grandchild left alive. That could either be a granddaughter or a grandson. Which would you prefer?
We got all women. Let's put a man in this.
So a grandson? Okay. So I've outlined this as his name is, hold on a minute, bystanders. Jordan Hershal. Jordan Hershal, when he was very young, he got involved in your magic or world of darkness or what have you, and something really bad happened. I'd like to know from you what that was and why he doesn't remember any of it today.
I think he found the blood grimoire that's kind of been passed down since 100 years or more, and in it each of the magic capable people in our family line has pricked their thumb and left a blood mark. He came upon it when he was young and unattended, and because of that, he didn't know what reading it and what looking through it and even touching it would do, and it, we had to wipe his memory so that he wouldn't be haunted by it the rest of his life.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to move on to, we did Allison, we're going to go back to Poppy. So I'd asked about your head. Can we hear you yet? Check if you mouse up to the top corner, there's a little gear. If you click that gear, it'll open up like your camera source, your microphone, and your earphones. Check to make sure that says the microphone that you have. No? Still not hearing you. Sign language.
Oh,
wait, I heard you.
you can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right. Weird. It was set to a different thing other than the default.
That happens. It's
Very
getting
odd.
worse with Skype.
Maybe next time I'll like bring in my microphone and just plug it in and not have to worry about it. Hello, I'm here.
Well, welcome back.
Late to the party, but ready to party anyway.
So, since you can communicate with us now, why don't you tell us a little bit about these hedge witches that Poppy has become associated with?
Well, I want to sort of establish that they're not really people who might know that Poppy is necessarily causing a lot of the stuff that's happening within this like circle of hedge witches. But she's mostly just there for like the community, and she likes bonding with other people who are like into the same sorts of things that she is. And so it's definitely much more about like just being around people who don't think that like doing the magic that she does is creepy, or the fact that like it's not normal. It's much more about just like having a group of people that are sort of kind of her friends, but she does have a very like protective view of them because she does see them as like her people, her community.
Okay. They don't know they're worshiping her yet, but
No, but she's working up to it. Like she definitely doesn't have like a cult following, but I mean, she might be working toward that. Might be like a goal of hers. Like, yes, eventually I'll have a cult one day.
All right.
Every little girl's dream.
Right. So let's go back to Alisson real quick. Alisson, you have mentioned that you're sort of a grifter con artist kind of thing. I'd like to know about the most recent con or job you did. Who was the target? Did anyone help you? And was it successful or unsuccessful?
I think she kind of sets up these like really small like day-to-day cons, and that's why she had to leave the last like city that she was in, is because her paranoia and like people started to like catch on to her that like she might not be like what exactly she's saying. And I'm thinking maybe she did like a like palm reading, kind of like just set up like a stand, and
Right.
she would use like her telepathy to kind of figure out what the person wanted to hear and just kind of like tell them what they wanted to hear, not really doing any magic.
Okay. So it's sort of like a charlatan kind of thing. Even though she can do magic, she's just ripping some people off with show.
Right.
All right. So while we're on the topic, the city is called Dion, Michigan. I kind of based it roughly on blending Chicago and Detroit together, and it's sort of on Lake Huron, and it's a really big sprawling city with lots of interesting areas. Where I'm thinking that your apartment, your long-term hotel, is actually located like down on the pier district by the marina. Like there's like a lot of shopping and all that sort of thing. It's sort of a little more run-down area of town where, it's not like completely the destitute live, but it's definitely not the high-end glitzy side of town. Let's roll back to, I got a couple more of these staging questions, and then we'll jump into the guts of the mystery. So coming back to my notes. Actually, let's stick with Alisson real quick. And then I got one more for Poppy, and then I'm going to do a vignette with Mama Hershal that I think will lead us right into it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the day in the life of Alisson? What's an average day recently, since she moved to Dion? What's her day like?
I think she usually just wakes up, and after like going to grab a quick bite to eat, probably like at McDonald's or just some really quick, fast like food place, she would head out to the pier and set up like a little stall where she would have a bunch of different like card tricks or like the palm reading or those like what are they called? The cup and balls. Like
like the ball game or the shell game.
Yes, the shell game. And try to like get money out of people, and then she would just like, after getting some money, she would head back to her apartment, not wanting to stay out in the public for as long as she needed to, and she would just kind of like bunker away in her room for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So little card shenanigans, and then finally back home for a well-earned rest. All right. And Poppy. Poppy is looking forward to the end of the world, right? So I'm imagining that Poppy is following the signs that lead to this. Now, my question for you is, are you watching for these signs, or are you trying to make these signs happen?
So my vision for Poppy is that she is still getting used to being Ishtar and getting used to like understanding her powers. Even though I did choose the Divine Playbook, I sort of saw it as more of like Poppy is kind of like coming of age and becoming Ishtar, and like it's really like her divine nature is sort of like coming out. So she's experimenting a little bit, and she's trying to figure out where these signs are. I would say that she's watching, and she's trying to learn as much as possible. And I think that once she feels that she is ready
Okay, so your answer just sort of changed my direction a little bit. So let me rephrase that or reorchestrate that and say, so Poppy is really still Poppy. The Ishtar personality or Ishtar avatar is really like a new aspect to her, and they're kind of merging together, but they're still somewhat separate at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely don't see them as two separate personalities. I don't think that that's how I want to play Poppy. I think it's just that Poppy is sort of realizing that she is so much more than she grew up thinking she was. She just thought she was like a little weird, maybe like wanted to go into like a creative arts program at like a local community college and sort of like be a starving artist the rest of her life. And now she's sort of realizing like, no, I'm so much more than what I thought I was, and I can do things that I never thought I could do. And she's sort of making her way through her life with a new understanding of who she is.
Okay.
So it's definitely emergence.
I loved your idea that she's a beauty school dropout. So
yes, that's right. That's what I said.
I actually have that. I have that in my notes, so I have some stuff worked around that.
Yeah, okay. No, she's definitely a beauty school dropout, and I think that I'd sort of implied or sort of like played with the idea that she would be going to like a special effects school.
Oh, you didn't mention that, but I like that. Yeah,
sort of like doing beauty makeup, like of course, but also just sort of like every now and then, like going to the local haunted house and like painting people up.
She's Halloween. A dabbler.
Yeah, like definitely like super amateur, like does stuff with like glue and cotton and that sort of thing. But yeah, mostly beauty school dropout, and now she's just sort of realizing, wait, I have immense power.
All right.
Like so far.
Perfect.
Jafaring it up.
Last question then would be for Mama Hershal. What does Mama Hershal's day look like? Actually, let me not do that. Let me ask you, Mama Hershal has a haven. What is her haven like?
So she lives on the second story, and so she's got this little outdoor elevator thing that she's always got to go up to. But the apartment or the room below her, never rented out, boarded up, never used, padded, and that's where the haven is. And so it's kind of like in the Prestige, how the Chinese guy, he always walks with that limp, so everybody believes that nobody would ever believe that he's got a fishbowl between his legs. Did you get catching the reference? Okay. Anyway, so she acts her whole life that she's crippled, that she's worthless, she's no bother to anybody. But once she gets into her apartment, she's flying around. She's got a stairwell that leads down like three or so levels, and it's just full of books and ingredients and weapons that her family's gathered over the years. Anything useful for hunting down and killing evil and malignant magic things.
Yeah. Very cool. And your haven's got like a magical library, and what were your aspects?
Okay, so it's an armory, magical library, and mystical library. Do you want me to read them off?
No, that's good enough. Okay. We're kind of like coming up on 9:30. I'd like to start jumping into some of the mystery now. I think we've really established a really good base for these characters now. I've got a feel for who they are, and I'm really interested to see how they interact with each other. So in session 0, I read out the hook, which is really just a little vignette of what's going on in the monsters world. Do you guys want me to read that again, or do you guys all remember it, or just want me to summarize?
A summary would be good, but I remember it. It was very nice.
All right. So the summary is there's a really ritzy apartment in the Cannery District. It's nighttime. There is a lovely very agile woman in there talking on the phone very haughtily to somebody on the other line, talking about a really expensive piece of art or antique. She basically dictated the terms of the sale for tomorrow night, told the person named Franklin, don't disappoint her. She went into her kitchen, started fetching about for a glass of wine, and when she opened the drawer to grab her corkscrew, several very mysterious looking black adders struck her in the arm. She fell down and died. So this was a working of black magic, or it's kind of the way I tried to orchestrate it to describe it. So the major facts are there is a dead body in the Cannery district in a ritzy apartment. And I had suggested to you guys that you could either have found out about it through a dream or in the papers or something. If you go with the dream, you'll get there before the authorities. If you go there via like mundane means, you'll be showing up after the authorities.
I don't think that Poppy necessarily would get prophetic dreams, but Allison might.
I mean, I'm good for Allison to get a dream about that. I don't think she really knows what it means, or just.
I really, that's kind of where I was thinking this would go. So let's say that Allison is in bed. She's having this dream that sees this woman in some instance, in some moments you are her, and in other moments you're the snake, and in other moments you're an observer, and you wake up in a cold sweat and Poppy pops into the room as she usually does. What do you guys say?
Are you awake? I saw you had a bad look on your face. That's not normal.
No, but I am awake now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw that.
Right.
Allison.
Poppy.
You had a look on your face when you were sleeping that usually doesn't happen when you're sleeping. I have a catalog of the way that your face looks when you're sleeping.
You have a catalog of the way my face looks when I'm... What? Never mind.
It's a memory library, okay? You just have to follow along.
Oh, okay, sure.
What was your dream like? You were dreaming. I know you were dreaming. You must have been dreaming.
I was dreaming. I thought that I saw, like, I was woman and there was this snake and she was really rich, so she's dead now. If there even was a person, I'm not fully sure what's going on.
Do you think you saw your future?
I hope I saw my future.
You saw the address.
If you're rich, would you take me with you?
I mean, I think you would just come with me regardless, so sure. But I saw an address that maybe we could check something out over there. Maybe if it wasn't my future, it's unoccupied now and there's stuff.
Okay. Why don't we... Yeah. You want to check it out? I'll check it out.
Yeah.
You had a weird face thing going on. It was a face journey you went on. I saw that.
I don't go on those a lot, so yeah, let's try this out. Let's check this out.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys will be fairly... How do you travel around town? I think to use your angel wings, you need to have been there before or be very familiar with it. So you take the bus?
Yeah, let's take the bus.
All right. So what does the bus trip for you two look like going across town?
Poppy remains uncomfortably close to Allison.
Allison is trying to get us far away from Poppy. We are just kind of like in the back of the bus, smushed into a corner, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Allison would like be at the corner seat, like next to the window, and Poppy just like keeps scooting closer and closer and closer to her.
All right. Well, the bus pulls up at the corner of Riley and Harris in the Cannery District. I'm going to say it's approaching maybe 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. The attack had happened right around 11 p.m. So around 2 o'clock in the morning, you get off the bus, and the bus driver's like, this is not exactly a safe neighborhood for young ladies to be walking around.
Poppy just kind of like laughs at him a little bit and walks off. like, okay,
all right.
Allison just kind of looks at him, shrugs, and follows Poppy off the bus.
All right, so you guys get off the bus. The bus pulls away with a little cloud of smoke behind it, and before you is the old cannery building, which has been turned into condos. The upper floor where you saw in the vision is still lit, though not as brightly as it was before. And you do see what looks like a shadow moving around relatively smoothly inside the building.
Well, I'm gonna turn to Allison and I'll be like, all right.
This is eerily like your dream.
Like, what's going on now? Like, this is obviously like not your future. Like, what's happening? Like,
right.
So she just looks over and she's just like,
Allison, like looking around, kind of is like, this is pretty much what I saw in my dream. Do I have an address for
You know that what you saw in the dream was about where you're standing. There's a mailbox and a street sign, and look across the street and up the fourth floor. There's a large set of leaded glass windows on the right hand side. It's like the right half of the upper floor is this apartment. So you can tell from where you are which apartment that would be.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, could Allison tell Poppy, like, okay, let's just fly up there, and Poppy just sort of like grabs her hand?
Yeah, I'll say there's a balcony. I think though, if you're going to take someone with you, you need to roll.
Well, Poppy wants to hear what Allison has to say because she's really following Allison right now.
All right.
Okay. Allison points up to where the apartment is at, and she's like, that's where I saw the events, like what was going on, this snake and this lady. So that's probably where we need to head to. We can like try climbing up a fire escape maybe, or oh, you have that pop thing, don't you?
Yeah. I got wings. It's a thing.
Right.
But I've been helping. Yeah. Do you want me to just like fly up and check it out? You want to come with?
Yeah, let's stick together.
I love it when you say that.
Oh, I know you do.
All right, so you're gonna use the angel wings?
I am. I will make the first move of the game, and I will use angel wings.
Okay. I have set up a role for your party, which
how do I do it?
The character keeper, if you go to the notes page, there's a link. Click the link and you will see what looks like this on my screen, except for it's not working now for some reason. Did we lose our role for our party? No, it's still there, but refresh it. There we go. Okay, so are you able to see the roll for your party page?
Yes.
All right, so if you select your two dice, the two poppy dice are yellow, just select them by clicking on them, and then re-roll selected is a green button.
Okay, wait, I only see it on like the screen share that you shared.
Oh no, you got to go to the browser. Yeah, you should be a link in the character keeper.
Okay,
the character keeper.
Sorry to hold everyone up.
All right, it's all right. It's first time doing this. So. In the character keeper, there's a notes page. It's a notes tab, and in the notes tab, there's just one link. If you click that link, it'll take you to the character keeper, or it'll take you to the roll for your party. And once that loads up, this is a shared dice rolling screen. I have it on my screen, so anyone who happens to be watching this can actually see the dice get rolled.
Okay, I think that I'm here.
Okay, so you see the poppy dice?
Yeah, so reroll selected.
Yep, you click up. Oh, there. Look at that!
Oh, nice.
Booyah! Okay. What does
Can
it
I-
look?
can I
What
just-
does it look like when you guys
Thank you. Yeah.
teleport?
So basically, Poppy just like takes Allison's hand and like winks a little bit. Just out from, and I think that I mentioned that Poppy takes or Poppy has like very like loose fitting wavy clothes. And really at first it looks like just like her clothes have become wings, but then it becomes very apparent like she has two sets of like blackish, grayish wings coming out of her back.
Huh?
So they just like pop out and she's just like, hold on. And they
Okay.
literally she just like crouches down a little bit and she flies up to the apartment, and somehow Allison isn't like being dragged down, like she's not like pulling Allison up. Allison's like literally, it's like magic kind of ish.
Yeah,
like,
just there.
they're just like both like kind of floating, like bouncing a little as like her wings flap.
Okay, so you guys land gracefully on the balcony outside the main living room, and you can see through the stained glass window there is a very familiar looking old lady in a wheelchair wheeling around inside the apartment.
Isn't that your landlord?
I was just gonna say that looks like Mama Hershal. Can
Well, don't just sit out there on the balcony all night. Come on in.
Oh, what the fuck?
Allison, I know you're out there. Just come in.
Oh god,
oh
kept putting her wings away. Like trying to put her down.
is there a way that I could try to read Mama Hershal's mind with telepathy?
Door's unlocked.
Is that a thing that I can do?
You can. Let's take a look at your telepathy move, or which is your telepathy. You can read people's thoughts. You know what? Let me actually go. If you go into the moves tab, and then I think I've got telepathy. You can click on that and link to it. Telepathy. You can read people's thoughts and put words in their minds. This can allow you to investigate mystery, read a bad situation, and actually talk. So what I would think in the case of a player character, it would be like talking more than it would be like reading her mind. You can read surface thoughts, which is basically saying, come on in. Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, it's up to you guys how you want to work this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think if she can only get surface thoughts, then she'll just get mild annoyance and like an image of like somebody tapping their foot, you know?
Okay.
Poppy is staring at Allison because like Poppy doesn't really have a relationship with Mama Hershal right now, so she's just like, Allison, this is like your move.
Right. I think after like using like telepathy and like actually seeing that this is actually a person here, she kind of tries to open the balcony. Did you say it was a door or a window?
Yeah, it's a door. You're on like a living room balcony kind of thing. It's a big leaded glass frame, windows around it, and then like a double French door kind of going inside. And it is unlocked. We'll just make this easy. You can get inside pretty easily. Mama Hershal is wheeling around the sofa, and you can vaguely make out what looks like a body behind the sofa, between the sofa and the kitchen.
Okay. Do I recognize the body as the body from my dream?
Absolutely, yes. It is the lady who died of snake.
Right. Allison's like, yep, that's her. That's who I saw.
And Poppy looks a little bit put out and is just like, so you're not going to be rich?
I mean, maybe one day, hopefully.
Well, the apartment is full of very valuable stuff.
I will admit it doesn't even cross Poppy's mind to take something.
Allison is looking for something that she can probably shove in her like pants or bag if she has one on.
All right, so sure, there's some fancy looking bronze letter openers on an end table right by the door.
Yeah, Allison tries to like subtly take those and put those in her
Allison, are you kidding me? You come to a murder scene and then you rob the place. What do you mean? You had a vision, huh? You had a vision of this?
Yeah.
Give me more. Let's keep it coming.
Oh,
do I have to spell this out for you?
I'd like to know why you're here and how, like, what?
Oh. You are thicker than I thought. You're thick as molasses, aren't you? I can't believe you haven't figured it out already. I gave you that great deal. I've been watching over your butt. You've been walking around stealing from all these normies. I know what you are, and I figure what your friend is too. But all that aside, what'd you see?
Tell her.
I think Allison just goes into what she saw, kind of just recapping the dream, or do you want me to like go through what she saw?
I mean, yeah.
You can paraphrase it, or we can just take it as read that we all now know the vision.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what you saw, and actually, Mama Hershal, how did you find out about this? I have an idea, but I want to see what you think.
I was sipping my evening tea when I finished. The dregs at the bottom lined up in such a way that I knew something had gone down. So I started rolling across town. Maybe it was, I don't know, 8 or 9 at night. I started and got here a little bit after the murder happened.
Yep. You actually got that as a premonition then. You actually knew some black magic was going down before it even happened. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, maybe it was, I mean, it wasn't me. I wasn't asking for it. Maybe the tea leaves picked it up because it looked like a trap, you know? So maybe the tea leaves picked it up as the snake trap was laid or cast or something.
All right. So you beat the girls here. You're all now in the room, and you're kind of having a conversation about how did everybody get here and what's going on. If you all look around the room, there are stacks of paintings and crates laying against the wall. There are various antiquities, boxes and crates and stuff, just all over the place. It looks like maybe an art dealer or some kind. Yeah, pretty much like an art dealer's warehouse more than a loft. But then on the other side of the room, it's just posh, super nice stereo, huge TV, a wine rack with lots and lots of bottles of wine, and blah 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 blah. This girl lived high on the hog. Lived being the past tense.
Poppy wants to know if she can feel an evil presence. Like via her like cast out evil, I feel like she would also be able to like tell if evil is approaching, or is that like too much of a stretch with the power?
Let's say this, Poppy, you can detect that this apartment is warded. It is warded with very crude, rudimentary magics, like maybe something a hedge witch could do. Somebody who doesn't fully understand, has a grasp but doesn't fully understand the workings of magic. It would have protected her against a minor incantation or demonic incursion or something. Whatever got through was very powerful.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that like Poppy. Okay, so I'm gonna say that like Poppy's like, she goes over and she's like immediately curious about the dead body. So she goes over and she like takes a peek at it and she's like, this is kind of boring. And then she like looks around the rest of the room. Like, would there be runes or a hex bag or something that she would notice that would like imply that like a basic magic ward had been set up here? Like, would you be able to like point at something and say like, yep, that's magic?
It's actually drawn into the it's like one of these trendy apartments where you got the exposed ductwork and like iron beams and stuff with the brick, and all of the iron beams have like it's almost like a silver model paint you would buy from Hobby Lobby, but there is a little trace amount of silver in it, and these intricate patterns have been drawn in all of these I-beams and ductwork stuff around the roofs and things. So it's not super. A major wizard did not do this.
And it's not. You're telling me like it's not hidden either.
It's not, but you got to look for it.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna say that she's looking for it and she notices it, but maybe she doesn't like realize the extent of it. But she's very curious about it. So I imagine that she's just like tracing them as like Mama Hershal and Alisson are talking. She's just over the corner like tracing whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, since I showed up a couple of minutes early, I've already been snooping around. I took extra care to take a look at the body for markings, and also I'm trying to get an idea of what this person had that would be worth murdering her magically.
Here we go. Okay. From that, this is probably a good opportunity to roll an investigate mystery roll. However, I want to give you a few more clues first.
Sure.
First off, you found her cell phone was laying on the couch. You know, it's like she dropped it there, and when she went into the kitchen, she did not make it back to it. There are some scratches on the end table where something large and heavy was laying and picked up rather hastily at some point. When you got here, the door was open, right? So something was taken, right? But there's all this valuable stuff around. Something very specific was taken. You also found under the end table, or there's like one of those hutches by the door where you'd put your keys and stuff. Underneath of it, you found 2 stuffed plush toy snakes. Right. So I think you're doing some investigating mystery. So let's go ahead and get our first investigative mystery roll down. And I am using where's my character keeper? If you go to moves, we have 2 investigative mystery. So we have follow up on a clue and investigate a mystery. I recommend at this stage in the game where you have very minimal clues that we use the follow up on a clue. Let me go ahead and switch my screen to roll for your party. And you want to roll for your party and see what you get.
So not to go into too long of a spiel, but I believe that every dice has a destiny, and so I prefer physical dice. If that's
okay. Fair enough.
All right. So then I 2d6 got a 7. That'll be a 9 with my.
That'll be a 9. That means you can hold 1. So you can ask one of these questions: what caused this? What is being concealed here? Does this refute or affirm something that I know? What other clues are here that I may have missed? What is the best way to learn more about this? Who else is caught up in this? What will this lead to or cause? And why was this done?
Okay.
You can ask one question at this time, or you can ask later. It's up to you.
Hold on. Was I doing follow up on a clue or investigate?
I was going with follow up on a clue at this point because you haven't really
okay.
learned what the monster is or anything like that yet.
Cool.
Oh wait, you rolled. What'd you roll? 7 or 9?
I got a 9 with my bonus.
You know, if somebody wants to help him out or help her out, you could potentially get a +1, and that would give you 2 questions. Is somebody interested in helping Madam Hershal in her investigation?
I have a -1 to cool, so.
Yeah. Well, Poppy is, Poppy's looking over those symbols, and she's very intent on them. So I'm sure that probably counts as helping out, right?
Yeah, I think that would help out. You're investigating the magical aura of the place, etc. So maybe that could. So and helping out, you would just roll plus cool. So if you want to use your roll for your party again, or
so
physical dice if you prefer.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, so I just re-rolled. I got a 6 and a 2 plus my cool, so that will be a 9.
That'd be nice. Yes, that gives you your +1, I believe.
Yeah, so just for some flavor, she's over there. She's looking at the runes, and she would be trying to see if she could recognize them, if she's seen them before.
Fair enough. And by the way, this also exposes you to trouble or danger that is not relatively evident at this point, but I have some ideas for that. So you have 2 questions that you can ask.
Okay. How about I'll ask the first and then you ask the second.
You want me to repeat them, or do you know?
Oh no, I'm reading it. I'm reading them right now.
Yeah, I got it too.
I want to know what's being concealed here.
What's being concealed here? There's really nothing being concealed here. I mean, this is a flat-out assassination. The creature or person that did this could not enter the building, so it was done via a curse of some sort or another. It was a very, very strong dark magic spell, and it had to have been done from somewhere nearby. This kind of power doesn't cross cities or countries or what have you, unless, say, perhaps maybe they were at Stonehenge or some other great place of power. Yeah, it's very likely they were very nearby when they cast this spell.
Okay, and I think that I will ask, what's the best way to learn more about this? And I think that I'm specifically talking about, I'm specifically asking about the magic that protected this place.
Okay, the magic that protected this place. You know what? I'm going to add in a little bit more to my answer to what is being concealed here. You can find a cache of papers in a little side office that very clearly indicates that this lady, her name was Tatiana something. Oh wait, she's under the other. Where the heck is my countdown? Tatiana Gray. She was, in addition to being a local speaking professor at the community college, she is an art thief. She is not a collector. This stuff is all stolen. So that is something that definitely qualifies as being concealed here. Although it's not really concealed. It's just not what you're supposed to see, right? This is all stolen, and she stole something extremely valuable to something, and that's what got her dead, right? As for what more can you learn about this spell work that's in the wall, this was actually done by one of the witches in your hedge witch group. You find her phone number in the portfolio, or in a coal guard. You also find the name of Dennis Franklin, who was mentioned in the phone call that she made. Dennis Franklin is the owner of Franklin Antiquities over in the business district. The witch the hedge witch is Todd Anders. And Todd Anders happens to be the hedge witch that Erica hexed a couple of months back.
Allison.
Allison, sorry.
You're fine.
Keeper strike number 1.
Allison.
Yeah?
Hi. Oh, you remember that kind of a dill weed that you made throw up like a few months ago?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he painted some of this. Like, this is like, I recognize his work.
He painted just random silver stuff, or what?
It's not random. Like, use your eyes, you still have them. So, like, you can see that this isn't a pattern. Like, this is obviously magic. Your magic. You should.
She's thick as molasses. I keep saying it.
I'm starting to agree with you, Mama. Like, this is. Come on, Allison. Like, get with it.
This is Erica. I don't think Allison fully like realizes like magic or like full extent to it, which is why she's having like such a hard time with all of this. If that's okay with the keeper.
It's okay with me. So
All right.
You're just figuring out, you know what? Something I forgot to do a minute ago. We have officially started the adventure. So the doom clock is going to be set forward today. So we are now officially in the day segment of our history.
Very cool.
Right.
Nicely done.
All right, so doom clock is a day. You guys have established some serious clues. What do you want to do next? What do you guys want to talk about here? What do you want to look at?
Is there any way that I can like try to compare what's in the apartment to what I saw in my vision? Like if there's anything missing or if there's anything that's been like added.
The one thing that, I mean, you didn't really get a good look around in the dream. It was all very point of view, camera on the victim kind of thing, because that's where the magic focused. But one thing you got a glimpse of was a large golden statuary in the shape of some sort of bird of prey. You only saw a portion of it. You didn't get a really good look at it. But whatever it was very valuable, like $10 million valuable.
Ooh, all right. And that's not here anymore, or is that
you don't see anything that resembles it in the apartment. In fact, that end table that was all scratched up is exactly where it was in your vision.
All right.
So I think that Poppy, in her like search of the apartment for more magical clues on Todd Anders' work, would eventually find the 2 stuffed snakes.
Okay, sure, you find them.
So I want her to find them, and I just want her to like go right over to Mama Hershal and just be like.
Actually, when you touch them, they are like ick. You can feel the death magic on them. I mean, it's residual, but it's still there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, you Ishtar does not like that.
Help!
Allison kind of like jogs over to look at what she's screaming help about.
Yeah, I'll roll up too with a gallon-sized plastic baggie.
Okay.
That I took from the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a mess. Someone made a mess. Someone like put a lot of shit magic around here.
Use the fingers God gave you and put them in the bag.
I don't want to touch them. They're gross.
Allison
Allison, do it.
Grab one.
How does Allison's dark side react to this?
What are her tags again?
You got hallucinations,
yeah.
paranoia, and impulse control.
I think maybe like she gets like a super bad feeling that like the cops are like on their way right now, and they know that like not only like all the cons that she's done, but that like she's messing with this investigation. She's like, we gotta go now.
Yeah, you guys are leaving DNA all over the place.
Yeah, we have made a big mistake in coming here. We gotta go.
Whoa, you wanted to come here. Like, just, okay, like, drop those. Those are gross. Stop touching them.
I dropped them.
Okay, feel better?
Yeah. Once they're in the zippy bag and closed off, the magic is. It was really when you come into contact with them that you get that ick.
Okay, all right.
It's still on your hands though. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, she's wiping her hands on her jeans, and she's like, "Yeah, better."
There's probably some Purell in the bathroom.
Yeah, this is a rich lady house.
Allie, when you're done in there, I need one more thing.
What? She calls from the bathroom.
Yeah, so I hand you my magical dagger. Get some of the venom from that lady on the dagger and slip it in another bag for me, will you? I can't bend over that far.
You say you're telling Allison, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I immediately go over to the body and I'm like, venom? What?
Oh yeah, do you know the woman was struck repeatedly by very poisonous snakes?
I'm gonna admit to you that Poppy/Ishtar, as like a magical being, has never been struck by a snake. So she doesn't know what it looks like. She's just like, these are like mosquito bites. What are y'all talking about? So she's pretty confused.
Yeah, Allison goes over to the body and she kind of looks at Mama Hershal like, how?
You dig it in, you pull it out until it comes back with a little bit of black mixed in the blood. It's really amateurs.
You stab a dead woman?
Not stab, you just kind of dig it. They're big holes. Big holes.
I know where the snakes bit her. Just ew.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll over. I'm gonna just do it myself.
Oh my God, Allison! Don't make the poor lady do it. Just
fine. She kind of she goes to the wrist is where she was bit, correct?
Yeah, well, all over her arms. Really, there's multiple bites, and it's not like little 2 puncture marks. Like it's there. Her arms are pretty ripped up, pretty good. So it's not going to be like you have to really dig around too much. Just dip it in there,
Yeah, she kind of like
Poppy's definitely like watching Allison, but she definitely says like, I wonder if she was allergic.
This is the most serious allergic reaction you've ever seen.
Where's her EpiPen?
Like,
I think I figured it out. Like, she just ate some peanuts. Like, these are hives.
No, Poppy, they're snake bites. Like, deadly snake bites. As she's like swirling the dagger in her arm. Trying to get some venom for Mama Hershal.
Jeez, I don't even know what to say to that.
Are you sure that this isn't just like a bad reaction? Are you sure that this is venom? Because I mean, this is just like, it could be pus, right? Like from a hive.
What's your name? What's your name, sweetheart?
Oh, I'm Poppy. Hi.
Let me guess. You're some kind of angel, divinity, god, demon. You're new to this whole mortal thing, huh?
No, what? No, I've been around for like my whole life, so it's fine.
I saw the wing.
The what? No, I have super flowy shirts, so I know like sometimes when I turn really fast, it looks like I got a wing. It's the point.
But only one.
You're as deep into this as you know what? You're too young for that one. Honey, I know about you. And let me clue you in on something. The rest of us, we feel pain, we have fears. It's very normal, but for you, I'm getting the impression that's different.
I mean, I feel things like I feel stuff and like emotions and feelings.
This is not an allergic reaction, dear. She was bitten by snakes, very venomous black magic snakes. Now, if you ladies don't have anything else to do tonight, why don't you meet me back at my place? I'm going to start rolling on out.
Oh, see you there.
Okay. So you guys are all heading back to the hotel.
Yeah. I think regardless of even like if we are going to go with Mama Hershal or not, we still need to go back home.
How convenient.
One thing I'd like to attempt to do before we leave is, can I cast a spell that might obscure like my wheel tracks and some of the things we left behind so we don't get in trouble with the...
I would think that would be maybe a bit of minor big magic.
Okay.
It's not really a used magic. Well, no. We could call that doing one thing that is beyond normal limitations. I think that kind of fits there.
Okay.
So yeah, also you can do a used magic, and it'll be a spell that you prepare in advance, knowing that you're going to be breaking into somebody's dead house. Yeah, sure enough.
Cool.
So you're going to use your real dice again?
Yep. Oh, we got a total of 3 with my weird.
Oh, you have lost control of your magic.
Whoa.
It starts out looking like it's working. You see like motes of dust and maybe a single angel feather and stuff kind of float up into a circle, but then it becomes a whirlwind and starts blowing stuff around the room. The glass windows blow out. The fire extinguishers come on, and a loud siren goes off. Woo, 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 woo. And with that, why don't we take a quick 5-minute bio break?
Sorry.
Oh my god. Like,
Mark XP. You just got your first XP.
I just want everyone to know that Poppy is looking around like, are we breaking stuff now? Great. Yay. Like that's where I'm at. Okay, I'm done now. Let's do it.
All right, so we'll be back at let's start back up at 10:15. So really 2 or 3 minutes, just enough time to take care of some quick business.
All right.
Sorry, I just been holding it for a while.
You don't have to make excuses to me.
Yeah, you're good.
So we got our first XP of the session.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Oh, I don't think that we ever. Did you guys mark highlighted roles?
Highlighted roles. Do we have that in the system?
Yes.
I've never used that before.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be like 2 skills are actually highlighted. But if that's not a thing we're doing, that's fine.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I know that they have that in other systems. I didn't remember seeing it in this system. So, tell you what, let's not use it. Well, actually, if I can find a reference to it real quick.
It should just be the rule book.
I've got the rule book open. I'm searching.
Cool. I mean, I'm not a stickler for rules myself. So, whatever.
So how you tell me how's that supposed to work? It's you have two stats.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, like whenever I play with someone and I'm keeping, I usually only use one because I find it makes it way too easy to level up if they use 2. But yeah, just choosing like charm, cool, sharp, etc. And one of them, like every time you roll, you get experience no matter what.
Yeah. Tell you what, let's not do that. Oh, wait a minute. Could be.
I mean,
Linda, you're going to be the next keeper. Do you want to kind of continue with the same world and maybe these same characters, or do you want to start with your own fresh thing?
I know that for myself, like Poppy is kind of like a one and done character.
Okay, so then yeah, okay, well we can do that. I would say highlight 1 stat, and if you roll for that, then yeah, you can have an XP. I think that's fair enough.
Cool.
Okay.
What I would actually like to do in future games, I just didn't prepare for it this time, is take the keys system from Lord Scurlock and use that instead, because I love the way that drives roleplay towards a character concept, and it just gives you much more incentive to roleplay. But again, I didn't prepare for that, so we can't do it. Let's stick with highlighted roles for now, and then maybe the next time around I keep her, I'll try that.
Yeah, I don't mind if you don't mind teaching me like how to use those keys. I'm happy to incorporate that into the next session. I don't want to take up too much time, but yes, I'm happy to learn.
Well, we will continue that discussion in the Keepers Discord. So let's jump back in. So the fire alarm's going off. The water is spraying everywhere. The windows have been blown out. What are you guys going to do?
Poppy is thrilled, and she's just looking at Alisson like,
by the way, when the whirlwind kicked up, it blew over or moved like this large chest, and there was like a recess underneath the chest with like a box, and there's an old school VHS tape in there.
Ooh.
I think Poppy's a millennial. She wouldn't know what that is.
Mama Hershal probably seen one of those in her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as tempting as it is to grab anything else, she's boogieing. She's got her wheelchair set to 11, and she's just rolling down the hall.
Rolling down the hall to the elevator.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you two doing?
I think Alisson grabs the VHS because it's just something that she's like, might as well swipe something, and looks over at Poppy like,
gold,
can you
jewels,
get us out of here?
pearls,
pop us out of here.
VHS tape.
Are we taking things? What do you want? I want things. I can.
Yep. Stuff in your pocket.
What? I have lots of pockets. I only buy pocketed things. What do you want to do? Do we? Oh,
you guys hear the fire truck in the distance?
That's
okay. We should go.
Okay, and I think would Alisson want to use Poppy's angel wings to get back to the hotel, or do they want to like jump off the building and like grab a bus?
So do you think that your angel wings, when you're in like a locality, like you just used them a while ago, they actually literally fly like an angel, but you can also teleport more or less to a destination that you are very familiar with, like a pop-in, so to speak. So you would envelop her in your wings and then just reappear in the apartment. Yeah,
so basically Poppy's sort of asking Allison, like, hey, what do you want to do? Like, you want me to do my thing? Because I can do my thing.
Allison's like, let's do your thing. Let's do your thing.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to have Poppy use angel wings again.
All right.
Hopefully she will be able to teleport both of them to the place where they are supposed to go, which is their home.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Are you going to roll for your party?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me put the screen up so people can see. All right. Roll away.
And boom. Killing it.
11.
That's a 12.
12. Nice. Okay. So how do you transport somebody through teleport? What's it look like?
I think that you had a pretty good call. I basically think that she, like, her wings extend to the fullest extent that they're able to extend, and she holds Allison's hand, and she does like her little wink again, like, and she, like, in a very quick like turn, she turns, envelops everyone in her wings, and then when she turns again and lets her wings like spread out, they're back at the hotel.
And I'm going to say that is also accompanied by the, like, I'm going to steal a page from the Troublesome Time in Tumblesome County, and that, the angel wings just have like the fluttering of 1,000 wings, just a little quick burst of wind explodes out from wherever you appear.
Yeah, I feel like she would also like bring some of the detritus from the apartment, like just in the general area.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Maybe she has like some splinters from the like some glass shards accidentally like come with her. Like,
yeah, there's a bunch of junk laying on the floor now. Yeah, just like broken bits of coffee table and feathers from the pillow, and you're now standing in Allison's room. Here's a question I meant to ask Poppy earlier. As you appear in Allison's chambers, which you're here frequently, what is it you spot that lets you know that your work here is just not done yet?
I think the fact that like Allison still is wearing her bracelet. I think it's the fact that like she can't take it off, and it bothers me a little bit. And I've never like tried to take it off, and I never asked her to take it off, but the fact that it's like on her constantly, and that bothers me. I think
maybe it also makes you a little uncomfortable. Maybe you have trouble even looking at it. Like, it's there and you try to look at it, but your eyes just kind of slide off of it and go in, and that really bothers you.
Yeah, for sure. There's like some weird magic happening, and I'm not cool with it.
Yeah. Definitely not a Ishitar-based magic. Mama Hershal, what are you doing? You get out of the building just fine.
Rolling.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find kind of a dark alley that I know will lead to another main street, and I'm just gonna start rolling home. That's how I got here. That's where I'm going. That's how I'm going to go home too.
All right. So it's going to take you a while to get there. So we'll kind of come back to you guys. What are you ladies going to do? You're back at Allison's apartment. You've got a bunch of detritus laying around. How does Allison feel about her apartment being messed up like this? You just clean.
I think her apartment is usually pretty messy. Like, she wouldn't usually mind like the mess, but this is like stuff that might hurt her, like glass shards and stuff. So she just kind of exasperated sigh and like goes to fetch like a broom and a dustpan.
Well, you guys, by the way, are soaking wet and smell pretty bad. Have you ever smelled fire extinguisher water? It's got that dye ink in it so that they can tell when somebody pulls the fire alarm. It's pretty rank.
All right. Allison like looks at Poppy and she's like, "I'm gonna go take a shower now. I will be right back."
And Poppy's like, "I can take a shower too, right?"
Wait, what? I'm sorry. What did you say?
I can take a shower too.
Okay.
Right?
Not at the same time.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? I'll wait. I'll wait for
Yeah,
you.
let me take a shower first, and then okay. She goes to take a shower.
Poppy literally stands in front of the door. Doesn't try to clean up, doesn't try to take off her wet clothes and change, like doesn't try to do anything, literally just stands dripping in front of the door waiting.
All right, so a little time passes. Allison is able to get clean and get the stink off of her, and comes out, opens the door, and there's Poppy standing right there, having not moved.
Just, oh god.
Hi.
You okay? You literally didn't move. Okay. Okay.
Told me to stay here.
I did that. You know what? That one's on me. I should have known by now. That one's on me. And she kind of like scoots around Poppy, which is like, all you.
Thanks.
All right, so we exchange positions. While Poppy is having her shower, is Allison doing anything specific?
I think Allison's just kind of like cleaning up the debris. If that doesn't take a while, or if she does that pretty quickly, I think she's kind of like looking out the window, seeing if either when Mama Hershal comes back, like when she returns, or if there's like any cop cars that are going to be like pulling into the parking lot.
So far, no cop cars, but we will say that Mama Hershal, right about the time Poppy is finishing her shower, Mama Hershal is, a taxi cab pulls up, and the guy gets out of the cab, takes the wheelchair out of the back, and then helps Mama Hershal out of the taxi, and you hear some bickering, and then Mama Hershal. What is Mama Hershal doing? Actually, are you guys on the first floor or the second floor, or what do you see? I think it's a 3-story building. We decided.
I'll say we're on the 3rd floor. I think. So if Poppy needs to like fly in, she could just land.
Yeah, it's better for takeoff.
All right. I think that Mama Hershal has one of those old rickety like freight elevator kind of things in the back of her, but she's got to go all the way around to get to it. So, Mama Hershal, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I'm like you said, I'm kind of bickering, take a swing with my cane at this this cab driver, and bop his door as he drives off, and I'm rolling up, and I'm gonna look up at their window, and if our eyes meet, I'm just gonna wave and kind of point towards my thing, and then get on the painfully slow elevator up.
All right. So, what are you going to do, Allison? Mama Hershal has motioned towards the main office, or her apartment, or actually, you're going to your lab, right? Your Haven.
Yeah, but like my apartment is the way you get to the lab. So
okay, so it's also on the 3rd floor. Is it connected by like a balcony kind of thing, or is yours separate where you got to go down and back up?
Yeah, I was kind of imagining it like a Motel 6, how all the entrances are on the exterior.
Yeah, so with like a long exterior thing.
Yeah.
There's a swimming pool, but it's empty, or it's got like 2 foot of water in the bottom of it kind of thing,
Yeah, too much hassle, too many lawsuits. I don't want to fill it up.
Poppy is delighted by this place where she can fill up with things.
Big hole in the ground into which to put stuff. All right, so you guys going to go to Mama Hershal's, or are you just going to carry on without her?
I think Allison kind of looks at Poppy after she gets out of the shower and is like, should we go see her? She was there. I mean, like,
she was there. That's true.
Okay. Let's go talk to her. This is too weird to not follow up on.
Okay. Okay. Poppy is like so perfectly fine to just follow out. So yeah, Poppy would just be like, yeah, let's. All right. Do you want to like jump or
No, what? No.
here?
Let's just walk. Let's just normal people walk. Let's just...
Oh, okay.
So we go.
Poppy still like hops a little bit and then walks.
All right, so I guess a couple of minutes later, there's a tap on your door. Do you guys just walk in?
Yeah, well, I just put a sign out that says, come on in. We're cooking.
All right, so when they walk in, what is Mama Hershal doing?
So they can see my apartment. It's very like 70s, like ugly carpet, ugly couches, throw rugs, the works.
A beaded curtain like between the rooms, like.
Oh yeah.
Poppy loves it.
And they can see kind of like a bluish glow coming from the behind the dinner table, and then they just hear my voice. Took you long enough again. Come on down. Lock the door behind you.
Allison locks all the doors and all the locks, however many there are, after we enter.
All right, describe what they see as they enter your sanctum or your haven.
Yeah, so they come down the spiral staircase and they see, just rows of books on one level, and then looking, there's kind of like a balcony that goes around, and if they look down, they'll see stuff. Probably a lot of it they won't recognize, but maybe some of it they'll recognize as weapons and magical ingredients. There's cauldrons, there's Bunsen burners, you name it. But the second story is just a bunch of books and some reading tables.
All right. I think we walk up to Mama Hershal, right? That's what Allison's doing. Just like, what is going on?
Well, you see here, so I had some time to think in the cab, and I think I got a lead. And I'm trying to trigger the dark past. Maybe roll that, and then see where that takes it.
Fair enough. So dark past.
All right. So 9, 10.
A 10. Okay. So questions are, when I dealt with this, well, you don't really know what kind of creature it is yet.
Yeah.
What black magic do I know that could help here? Do I know anyone who might be behind this? Do I know anyone who can help us out right now? Which one? A 10? You can ask 2 questions.
Yeah, so let's take the last 2. Do I know anyone who might be behind it and anyone who might be able to help?
I don't think you have enough information to identify who might be behind it. There are several characters in the city that are perhaps magically inclined enough to pull this off, but you don't think it's not their style. You haven't seen anything like this before. Somebody who might be able to help would be somebody who knows something about curses. So perhaps Round Robbin at the Round Robbin Apothecary might know something about it, and perhaps what's his name? Professor Edward Horn at the Museum of Antiquities might know something about curses.
Okay. Well, you see here. So these snakes, kind of flagrantly wave them in their face. They're obviously part of a curse. Now, I know a couple of people. They might be able to help us identify who could have done this, who in the city is powerful enough, Do you have a pen and paper?
Sure. I think you said pen and paper, correct? I think she pulls out like an old a thick pen and some receipts, like writing on the back of them that she like reached into her pocket.
Oh, you're gonna lose those things, dear. You're gonna lose them. Anyway,
No, we have pockets.
Go ahead.
We have pockets, so we won't lose them.
Yes, yeah. I like this one. You keep her around, won't you, Allison?
Yeah.
You keep her around. Yeah.
I think regardless if I want to or not, I am. So
I'll give them both the names, and I'll suggest, why don't you guys check out this Edward Horn? Yeah, he's got a little bit of a thing for me, especially when I don't have my teeth in. I don't want to see him though, and I'll go by round Robbins tomorrow.
Okay. What are we're looking for curses?
So Mama Hershal has, in scouring through her memory of the dark arts and stuff, she has identified these two individuals as being probably the most knowledgeable in the city that she knows of, and the subjects of curses and black magic. She probably knows Dr. Edward Horn as a very knowledgeable person on the subject, but a complete unbeliever. He is a scientist. He just knows lots about history. Round Robbin, who is this really hefty woman who runs the Round Robbin Herbal Apothecary and Bookstore, knows like she's forgotten more about magic than most people know. So she might know about curses. You also have other clues. You have the cell phone. You have the videotape. You have the fact that she contacted some individuals that you're aware of. So which direction do you guys want to
go? I think Allison definitely shows that she has a VHS, and she's like, I have no idea where to watch this, but it was hidden. And I found it.
You found a thing.
It's a thing.
Do y'all know what that is? Any ideas?
Nope.
A rectangle.
Oh, you guys are so cute. She bangs on the cupboard next to her. She says, pull what's in there out. And if they look, they'll find a little VHS player TV combo thing.
All right.
It's a rectangle slot.
All right. So when you plug this in and you pop the tape in, the tape is fairly short. It's got like a date and time stamp on the bottom of it, which is about 6 months ago. And it is footage, obviously, from some sort of a hidden camera of the dead girl in sexual intercourse with some man.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like this.
The tape very you can tell it's her because you've seen her up close, but it doesn't feature her face, but you can see his very clearly.
Do any of us recognize him?
Yeah.
You do not recognize him.
Can we? Oh, wait. I've seen this show.
Explain.
Wait, I've seen this show. Let's zoom in and call CSI. Allison, what? That's what happened.
Wait, we can't call CSI. I think like we are the CSI.
No, that's how it works. We call CSI.
Mama's taken her teeth out and she's just kind of chewing on her tongue. She is lost to you guys for a few minutes.
Allison just has her head in her hands and just like looks up at Poppy and she's like, we can't do that. We can't.
Poppy goes over to the television and she like tries to like make a square around his face. Just like, why isn't it working? This is how it works.
This is just a video.
No, yeah, I get that. Like, I know it's a video. I've seen the show. I know what's happening.
It's a dumb screen. It's a dumb screen. You can't touch it like that, dear. Although, so I'm gonna pop out the tape and kind of tuck it away. Just keep your eyes out for that guy.
Yeah. Can I say that like at least Allison made like a mental note to remember the guy?
Sure.
Like,
you might even be able to use one of your abilities to track them down or tune to them, possibly.
I can't.
Sorry, I'm looking. I can't read the dude's mind. Is there any
tune in? Tune in. Tune in works with monsters and minions, so I would also assume bystanders.
Yeah. Can I roll tune in to see if I can try to like find this guy?
Yeah. Well, in this game, you're not supposed to really say I'm going to tune in, but you describe what you're doing, and if that triggers the move. Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
You can tap into your darker side and focus on it.
I think Allison like is trying to like while the video was like paused, she was like looking at the dude and like kind of like thinking about like if she's seen this person before or like if she's maybe like seen him walking by on the pier or something like that and like really trying to like focus down on who this is. And
you focus and meditate. You guys watch her, and her face is usually unblinking, which is unnerving to begin with. But she almost gets like a shade paler, almost a little translucent even. And you want to make your roll?
Yeah. Let me
right, you're going to use the roll for your party? Then let me go ahead and switch back up to my screen here. So. Allison, just select the 2 dice and roll. Is this your first roll of the game?
This is my first roll of the game.
All right.
I think I got it.
Watching. I didn't see it change yet. You have to click on both dice and then click roll selected. They should turn red when you select them.
Yeah, it's not turning red.
You're on a tablet, aren't you?
I'm on like a Windows tablet. Hold on, I'm refreshing the page, seeing if that works.
I think we just lost all our dice. So in this case, there's that's okay. There's like a little like a number box with D6 beside it. Put 2 in there. Put 2 in the box, and then click roll.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Oh, look at that. 6, 10.
All right.
So you hold 3. You hold 3. You can ask 3 questions. Where is this creature right now? What is it planning to do? Who is it going to attack next? Who does it regard as the biggest threats? And how can I attract its attention?
All right. Let me see. I think I'm gonna ask. what is it planning to do right now?
Okay, so you are able to zoom in on this person, and it is a person. He is on the phone, and he's desperately making phone calls to various people.
Okay. All right.
I'm also going to let you know this. Obviously, you know that this is the same the guy you're trying to tune in on. So, he is. Actually, ask your questions, and I'll decide. Ask me all your questions, and I'll decide how to orchestrate them together. So you got what you said. What is he planning to do? What are your other two?
Who is it going to attack next?
And
where's this creature right now?
Oh, perfect. So I was hoping you were going to ask. So I'm going to answer it this way. This is Dennis Franklin. He is the owner of Franklin Antiques, and he is actually at the antique shop at the moment. He has an apartment above the antique shop where he and his wife live. He is not planning on attacking anybody at the moment, but he is desperately trying to keep certain bits of information from coming to light. So he's trying to find a buyer for a specific piece of antiquity.
Okay. I think Allison comes out of her almost trance that she was in, and he says, "That's Dennis Franklin, the dude who runs the antiquity place. He's looking to sell something." Trying to sell something that he doesn't want people to know about either.
I'll tell you what, with your fantastic role, I'm going to tell you, he is trying to sell one of Julius Caesar's legionary eagles. It is an eagle that was last seen when he went to Egypt after Pompey Magnus.
Okay. He's trying to sell Julius Caesar's legionnaire eagle. I remember seeing a bird in my vision, like a bird statue. That might have been it.
Was it gold?
Yes.
Julius Caesar? Julius Caesar?
Yeah.
I slept with him once. Not great.
Well, you are a piece of work, aren't you?
I've been around.
So, and I think that's the only thing that I saw missing in her apartment.
Do we want to?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, so I think with that information, Poppy's just sort of turning it over. It's do we still want to go after the professor? Or do you want to go after this guy?
Is she looking at Allison or the both of us?
Yeah, Allison.
Just Allison. I mean, this dude was, I think, may have been there because the statue was there when she died, and then it wasn't there. So we got there pretty quickly. So he's probably our best bet.
But wasn't she on the phone with him?
Do I remember who she was on the phone with?
She was on the phone with somebody negotiating. You only heard her side of the contract or the conversation, but the one last thing you did hear is, Franklin, don't disappoint me.
Okay. He was on there. He was negotiating a deal with him.
Okay. So like, let's just, what's the harm in letting him wait? Let's go out, let's see if this professor dude can pick out what's wrong with those weird ass toys.
I'm okay with that.
So while they're talking about this, Mama Hershal's trying to unlock this phone.
Okay.
I guess, does she have any luck? Or is there...
I'm actually going to say no. This phone is pretty high tech, and you try to work a little mojo on it, and it actually shorts it out. Magic and technology are not super compatible. So we'll say that there's and out of character, I'll let you know that the information you could have got from the phone, she just got from
oh, okay.
Using her whammy on it. So
okay, perfect. Well then I guess what I'll do is I'll bury myself in books and try and figure out more about this legionary standard, if it's got known magical properties, etc., etc.
Okay. You're going to do some research. What are you two going to do? Or what's after that? What's the plan?
I think that we're going to go hang out with the professor and see if he can tell us what actually, like, what's up with these snakes, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to go investigate the curse.
We are.
Are you going to wait till morning? Or are you going to go to the museum now? It's like probably, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, your time.
Poppy doesn't need to sleep. Poppy is like so happy to just go right now. So she would definitely turn to Allison and like, let's go.
Allison's like, I am tired, and also he's probably not there at this time.
We can wake him up. I woke you up.
I don't know where he lives. It's probably not the museum though.
Mama.
Yes.
Where does Professor Ed Horn live?
What do you need to know for?
We need to know where he lives so we can go wake him up.
Just go see him at the university. What's the problem with you? I take it back. I don't want you around here no more. Allison, you separate yourself from this woman. Sleeping with Julius Caesar. Creeping in on Eddie.
It was once I learned my lesson. I'm just going to throw that one out there. Swore off men for a full century. Listen. Where's his address? Like, we just want to go wake him up and maybe ask him a few questions.
Just wait till morning like a normal person. I know it's a stretch. It's a stretch for you.
Yeah,
I'll scroll out a little. I'm going to scroll out a little note to basically kind of legitimizing them, like, hey, Eddie, it's Mama. Talk to these girls. I'm going to give it a big old smack with some red lipstick. He'll recognize.
Is girls in quotes? Girls. Not a girl.
No, it just says girls, yeah.
Not a girl. Then I think Poppy would turn to Allison and be like, why don't we go look at Franklin then? If Ed's asleep, seems like a waste to just go to sleep too. That seems to like defeat the purpose.
You're right. Intent on not letting me have a good night's sleep, aren't you?
You didn't let yourself have a good night's sleep. I'm just following through.
No, I mean, I guess you're right. I played myself on that one.
Whatever you're gonna do it far from here. I'm trying to read.
I think, yeah. And Allison says, let me just grab something at the apartment real quick, and then we can head over to Franklin's.
All right. So how are you going to get there? You're going to do the well, actually, she doesn't know the location, so I guess it's back on. Well, the bus isn't running this time of night.
Are we walking?
I mean, it's a town, like it's a city. I would say they'd like.
You can probably catch a cab.
Walk. Yeah, there's Uber in this world.
Yeah, there is Uber in this world. That's true. Okay, so you're able to catch an Uber and get over there to the antiquity shop. It is in the trendier section of the arts district, and it is a large brownstone building, like 6 stories tall. The front facade is the main shop. The lights in the first floor are out, and the door is closed with a sign saying "closed."
Allison says his apartment is on the 2nd story. Do you want to try to like sneak in through a window and like knock on it, get his attention that way? Or?
I mean, do you want to sneak in, or do you just want to like go in? Because I mean, like, we should just go in. We're going in anyway, right?
I guess so. Let's just go in.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, well, the door is locked. How are you going to circumvent it?
I think that, like, to start with, like, Poppy's going to leave Allison on the ground, but I would like her, if possible, to just, like, fly up to the 2nd window and knock on the window. Like,
okay, so you're gonna fly up to the 2nd story window.
Yeah.
The 2nd story window facing the street, as you look in through the glass, is a living room. There is nobody in it. The room's dark.
Oh, I thought. Sorry. Are there any lights on?
There's no lights on the front side of the building.
On the front side of the building. All right. I think that she would fly up and she would see that there were no lights on, and she'd come back down, and she would tell Allison, like, do I break a window?
No. That's like sure far away for the cops to come.
Yeah, you are in a really high-end area town. Police response time is pretty good here.
Okay.
Couple of options you might have. You could do a line-of-sight teleport. Just teleport right through the door by looking through the window. If you can see somewhere, you can teleport to it, right? Another possibility is fly over the building and look in the back windows.
So I think that if Poppy's going to do that, she really does need Allison to be like, no, just like go around and check the other side of the building. Like, there's another side to this building.
There's 2 sides.
That's what Allison was going to say. She was like, did you check all the windows to see if any lights were on?
And Poppy would be like, no, hold please. And she would like her wings would pop out again. And she would fly above and go to the other side. And would you see any windows, like, lights on?
Yeah, well, there's a window on the other side, and this is a bedroom. There is a little like lamp beside the bed, a dim lamp, and it is on, and you can see a figure sleeping in the bed. And then there's like a dim light from the hallway leading out of the bedroom. So there's other rooms between here and the front that have a light on, but you can't really see them from here.
Right. So I think that Poppy generally takes a direct approach. So she's going to go right in front of the bedroom, like as close as she can get to the window closest to the bed, and just like knock.
Okay. The figure stirs, and a blonde woman kind of wakes up and looks at you, shocked, pulls the blanket up over and scrambles back and screams.
Hello. I need to find Dennis. Is he home?
Quickly you see the guy Dennis comes running into the room. What's going on? Oh my God.
Hi.
how's he going to react? He just looks shocked. He's just standing there, and she like moves behind him, and he walks over to the dresser and pulls out a handgun, and he points it at you.
Do I hear any yelling from like where I'm
You
standing?
you heard a muffled scream, maybe.
Hello, I need to talk to you.
Allison is like jogging to like the to like
he walks cautiously up to the. You know what? This is a good opportunity for a manipulate somebody roll.
Okay, that's great because she has -1 charm, so.
I think this is a good opportunity for a manipulate somebody roll. So, manipulate somebody.
Okay, well, I mean, she's out there flying, floating around, and she's definitely like trying to like get him to open the window and talk to her. Like, I think that's pretty established. Okay, so she's just like smiling, waving her hand, like, hello, I'm here.
All right, so you want to go ahead and do your roll. You can select and
I did it.
Oh, you did it. So what is it? 6, 7, 8, 9.
No,
you said 8. Well, that's still better than 7. So they will do what you want, but only if you do something for them or show that you mean it. If you ask too much, okay. So what he'll do is he'll slowly move towards the window and like, what are you? He kind of looks down, like, realizing that you're flying. I suppose your wings are flapping and stuff too, right?
Yeah, all 4 of them.
His wife runs out of the room, and he flips the latch and slides the window up and says, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Hi, I'm Poppy. This is my friend Allison, and we just like want to chat with you for like a quick, like a minute.
Is Allison with you now?
I said I jogged like behind like the building, so like.
Oh, so you're downstairs. He looks down. Hi.
She waves at him.
Yeah, that's Allison. That's my friend. I told you about her. She's my friend. My friend, Allison.
And what are you doing in my window?
Well, I mean, this seemed like a really convenient time for me to come and talk to you. So
It's 4 a.m.
Well, yeah. I mean, the early bird gets the early. Allison! Allison, what does the early bird get?
The worm.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm fresh out of worms.
That's fine. I don't really need any right now. Can we just chat for a second? Like, Allison and I, like, we need to talk to you about something because Allison had like this totally freaky dream, and it's kind of like bugging her out. And you were part of it or something. So we just need to like.
He says, "Come to the front door," and he like closes the window, locks it, and goes back around. You hear a short bickery back and forth between him and his wife, and then he goes downstairs. A few minutes later, he opens the front door. Says, "What do you need with me? And what are you?"
I think so. Just so you know, by this time, Poppy has like descended to the ground and is following Allison really happily, like to the front, like totally vindicated.
Allison's just sighing and leading Poppy to the front door.
That went really well.
You know what? It went better than I thought it would have gone. So yeah.
Well, this actually is probably a good point to break because I think we are at time now. You guys think it's a good time to stop, or you want to try to play out the rest of the scene?
I'm fine to keep going. I mean, I'll admit, like 11:30, I gotta like
Why don't we do a hard stop now? I mean,
Okay.
but I would like to real quickly go over. I mean, I guess they usually do roses and thorns or whatever. Is there anything you specifically liked about it or did not like about the session so far? So I start with Erica. Let's start with thorns. What didn't you like, or what could I have done better, or we as a group have done better?
I felt like I talked too much.
What?
I feel like I talk too much.
It adds flavor.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Okay, as long as it's not annoying, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it fits your character because you're just kind of like ditzy, clueless. The talking to explain yourself nonsensically works. It's good.
Yeah, it's the character. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I know at least something that I need to work on is trying to like say what I'm doing instead of saying like the move that I want to do.
Yeah, that's all of us have difficulty with that one.
All right.
And Spencer?
Thorn. I don't think I really have a thorn. Yeah, no, I think it was a good first session. Yeah.
For me to throw out, I don't think I have a real thorn either, other than that my pacing was not as on spot as I wanted. I think we got about through either a half to a third of what I really had planned for tonight. So I think we're going to end up running 3 sessions instead of 2, assuming we keep at this pace. Although I really like the way things unfolded here. I just allowed stuff to go on a lot longer in some places. So
that'll just make sure that'll take us to the last week in April, right?
Possibly. If we need to like skip a week or delay or something, we'll work it out.
Because I'm running a Wednesday night game starting the first week of May.
I will try to wrap it up in the next session if possible. I probably can, but I've got several encounters planned that haven't even happened yet. You guys haven't figured out what the monster is yet. So, okay, Roses, is there anything anybody specifically liked?
I think I really liked Mama Hershal. I wish we had more interaction with her. Poppy's just kind of useless, so she's got to be pointed in a direction. She's so dumb.
I really like our team dynamic so far. I think it's fun and it's working.
It is really fun, and I mean the flavor of it. It's like you guys just Mama Hershal rolled off on her own, and you guys just left her. If you guys had stayed together, we could have gotten farther. But the fact that you did it was so much more interesting.
I'll stay here.
Yeah, it didn't feel right. Like I thought maybe I'll give them a call and have her come and pick me up. But then I was like, no, that doesn't feel right yet.
Yep. Actually, the whole scene of the shower and the door and it was hilarious. So I really dig that. Let's see, for me, a rose. I really like the dynamics of the 3 of you guys. I mean, you guys bring a lot of color to your characters. I like the way they're interacting. I'm very interested to see how this progresses. Yeah, it was a cool first session. So, I hope we can. Good.
I wanted to throw out specifically a rose about using the standard from Julius Caesar, and obviously you did a little bit of reading on it because you threw those factoids out. I love it. Imagining the legionary standard as a magical item. Oh my gosh, I love that. Wherever you got that idea, that was brilliant.
Well, in my hook, the first murder took place at the corner of Cameron, or in the corner of Riley and Harris. Cameron Riley and Ray Harris do the Life of Caesar podcast.
Oh, clever.
So nerd clue.
Yeah. I don't ever write. So
But that's yeah. There's more of that where that came from. So once we get into it, that's just like scratching the tip of the iceberg. So
excellent.
Nice.
yeah. So you guys like the first session, I guess?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Poppy,
Well,
I swear Poppy will not be so ditzy. Like she really is like two emotions. So she's getting there.
well, as we unfold, these characters can grow. I'm actually a little sad to hear that, Poppy is a use once and burn it character because, Poppy's a really cool character. Yeah, a lot of potential.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm sure your next character will be every bit as amusing.
Maybe. I might go like super dark.
Ooh.
Hey, that's just as fun.
I can do that, I think.
I guess one last question. Does anybody guess what my monster is going to be?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, when you first introduced the monster, I had the idea of like a tearaway Gorgon where like a Gorgon was hanging out and she like tore off ass from her head and like sent them to do her bidding. But obviously that's not what's happening. But
that's a great idea.
That was an idea I had. That was
We'll
it.
save that for next time.
Yeah, when you identified it as related to Julius Caesar and specifically the standard from Egypt, my thought immediately went to Cleopatra. And if it hadn't been for the sex comment, I think I might have added it in the fiction, but that sex with Caesar comment threw me so far off.
Just what? Damn it. He was really arrogant, didn't like eye contact. It was not fun. Seriously, he wanted to be called Emperor in bed. Like, I gotta draw the line.
Imperator.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I really enjoyed this first session. I am looking forward to the next one. It's going to be a long week waiting for the hopefully conclusion of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how it works for your guys' schedule. I'm more than happy to start earlier if we want more time. 2 hours is pretty tight.
2 hours is pretty tight, but I have to work in the morning, so I can't really stay up too much later. We could start an hour earlier, perhaps, but I've got a lot going on with the family and everything. I got my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight is my youngest's guitar lesson. I usually get home from that about. I could have probably started at least half an hour earlier, maybe an hour. Tell you what, let's touch base with that on the Discord. We'll kind of fudge it around through the week, and as we get closer to the next session, if I can start an hour earlier and you guys all can, I'm down with that.
Great.
All right.
Cool.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye.